The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is Cowboys StoryLine with Nick Eatman.
What is up? It is Friday, November 17th. It's time for Cowboys Storyline. I'm Nick Eatman, and it's here to talk about whatever you want. Whatever you guys want to talk about. You want to talk about the Panthers? We can talk about the Panthers. We can talk about the Cowboys. We can talk about all the other cool stuff going on. I feel like, we're going to have some fans obviously calling in. We've had two already at 888-855-2297. I want to throw that phone number out there. Make sure you guys give us a call. And you can text as well, 817-290-3298. The studio's, this is going to be a fun studio for, at least 3 hours here, probably all day long. But, man, it's hard to top what happened just now on Talking Cowboys with Nick Harris paying up on a bet and eating a chip with hot sauce that is, I think, the third hottest legal hot sauce in the United States. I don't know who ranks them, but he lost a bet with Isaiah, something about Brandon Cooks, and on the air, he was hurting for a little bit, but mad props to him because he did a nice job. Recovered, finished the show. He just walked upstairs. I saw him with every dairy product known to man, had ice cream and all this kind of stuff. But did a good job. And then apparently after this on Cowboys Break, I'm not going to give it away, but there's going to be a fun game, a PG-rated game, hopefully, for Cowboys Break. But should be a lot of fun. All right. We're going to have fun here to do. We're going to make sure we talk to you guys. We'll start right off. Let's go. Chris in Wisconsin is a first-time caller. Chris, what is up?
Nick, it's Chris. You answered my text a couple days ago on, Thunderlips was my favorite wrestler. So I've been listening to you forever.
Yeah.
Back in the lunch break days.
Dude,
with Dia and Derek and Josh.
Yeah. That was one of the best ones. I was like, everything you were saying, your favorite players, your favorite wrestlers, you watch Rocky. I'm like, This is me. Like, I think we should hang out. So,
well, you're the one that I always seem to notify with the most because we're in the same era, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
So, my question for you is...
And I have a question for you, too.
Oh, go ahead.
What's your favorite Rocky?
Number one.
What's your second favorite Rocky?
3.
Okay.
And then 4.
What's your least favorite Rocky?
Well, 5 shouldn't have been made.
Thank you. Yeah, Chris, you and I should hang out. All right, what do you got?
All right, well, you guys always say, the Cowboys choose you. So my question is, I want to know when the Cowboys chose you.
Yeah.
Because I know I said it was that 82 or the 81 championship game.
Yeah.
Because back in 80, I lived in Reading, Pennsylvania. So that's like an hour from Philly.
Uh-huh.
So my older brother's best friend was your classic obnoxious Philly fan.
Right.
So, I don't know anything about football. I'm more worried about, Luke Skywalker being, Darth Vader's kid and what do I care? So, but I looked up my older brother, so I rooted for the Cowboys.
Dude,
so that was the year, the Eagles made it to the Super Bowl.
This is scary. And, how much older is your brother than you?
2.
2 years? So my brother's 3 years older. Same thing. Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, all those. I don't watch sci-fi movies. I don't really like them, but that is an exception for me is Star Wars because that's what I grew up on. All right.
Yep, that was the time.
The same.
So the Eagles made it to the Super Bowl that year.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
I'm in that area, so during the holidays, I had to hear the 12 Days of Christmas Philadelphia style. So I think the 6th day was Ron Jaworski passes.
Okay.
The 5th day was Wilbert Montgomery's moves.
We're good.
And I don't remember any of the other ones.
And
but
who cares? We're good.
It's terrible.
Yeah, no one cares.
So, but then, and then when the Super Bowl happened, that was the first football game I ever watched. And I just had to laugh to myself as Jim Plunkett and the Raiders beat the tar out of them.
Mm-hmm.
So then the next year we ended up in Illinois, and I started following the Cowboys halfway through the year. We don't get a lot of games, but I'd watch it every time.
Mm-hmm.
So they played the Giants late in that year, and they lost a close game, and my mom's from upstate New York. So, the Giants always give the Cowboys trouble. So now I'm worried going into the playoffs. Giants are playing the Niners. I'm rooting for the Niners. I don't want to play the Giants. So the Niners win. Next day, the Cowboys spanked Doug Williams and the Buccaneers. Best thing I ever saw, 30-something to nothing. So now here we go. championship game, Cowboys-Niners. I never talked about football at school, but somehow it came up, and my buddy goes, "Oh, I'm a Niners fan." So I said, "I'm a Cowboys fan. They got to win now."
All right.
So, I mean, they have to win this game. And I sat there in front of that television, 10 feet away on the floor. I don't think I blinked for 3 hours. I just turnovers back and forth. And Everson Wallace picks off a pass in the fourth quarter. They're up 6. I thought it was over. First time I stopped sweating the whole day. And then the Niners got it back. And as they're driving and they get past the 50, now I'm just thinking, I want them to score because we're running out of time.
Right.
Just score, Cowboys get the ball back, kick the field goal, win. So when Clark caught that pass, I was upset, but I'm like, all right, we're fine. Huge pass to Drew Pearson.
Yep.
Next play is the play I want back. Danny White sacked and fumbled. I just started bawling. I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Why am I crying over this? But it was the moment Danny White fumbled, and when they play that game on the NFL Network, the live broadcast, I go back, I watch it every time. My wife comes in, "Are you watching that again?" I said, "Yes."
No.
She'll come back later. I'll go, "Darn it!" And she'll go, "What?" I said, "He fumbled again."
Yeah.
I mean, every time I watch it, he fumbles. What's going on?
Yeah, I've seen games like that where you think things are going to change it, but like Nelly Cruz in the game 6 of the Cardinals, I think he's going to catch it, but he doesn't. So it happens.
It never works out.
All right, thanks for the call, Chris. Good stuff. First time caller, Chris. Let's move it on here. Michael in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Michael, what's up?
Nick.
How you doing?
Okay, listen now. I got a Dallas Cowboys vision. The last time I got one was 1992, and we saw how that worked. This is what it is.
Okay.
The Cowboys they're gonna finish the season all good. We're not gonna lose another game. Finish the season with 3 losses.
Okay.
And the best part, the Eagles. They're gonna lose to the Cowboys, of course, because we got all W's.
Right.
The Eagles are going to lose to the Chiefs. The Eagles are going to lose to the 49ers. The Cowboys are going to finish in the first place, NFC East. I don't know how the Lions are going to do, so don't know if we're going to win the NFC, but we're going to win the East.
What about, 49ers could be 14-3 also.
Like I said, we're going to win the East. That's all
Cool.
I saw.
Well, that would be quite a role there for the Cowboys to win out. I mean, I think they should win all those games. I mean, I really do. I mean, even at Buffalo, at Miami, they could win those games. But to show that kind of level of consistency, game in and game out in this league is tough. I mean, that's why teams don't do it.
They're going to do it.
All right. Well, Michael said it. All right.
I'm going to call back at when they beat the Commanders, the last game of the season.
Okay.
Call back that next day, and we'll see.
I'm sure you'll call before then, too.
Oh, I will.
All right.
I tell you what, I'll call after the Eagles lose to the Chiefs. That'd be like,
cool.
See?
Awesome. You got anything else?
No, I just
right.
had that, and I mean they're gonna kill as Nate Newton says, the Carolina Kitties Sunday. So people were talking about Dallas having
he played for them.
Huh?
He played for them.
Yeah. Well, he's been called all week, the Carolina Kitties. Well, they're talking about is Dallas going to have one of those letdown games? No, they're going to kill them.
Yeah, I think they've learned. I like what Micah said. Thanks for the call, Michael. I like what Micah Parsons said yesterday about that. Just we're not going to make that mistake again, and just more of a focus. I think having that game out there should be able to help them. We're still talking about it. It's week 3 back in the that's a different. That's a different month. It's a different part of the season. Still talking about it, though, because it's relevant in a week like this. All right, let's go to Justin. He's in Raleigh, North Carolina. Justin.
Hey, how you doing? First-time caller.
All right. Thanks, Justin. Appreciate that. That gets a ding if Chris is paying attention. He's probably on the phone. Getting another caller. But, Justin, are you going to the game?
I am not, unfortunately. It's way too expensive. And hopefully it's not going to be too much of a competition for too long. So,
see, those are the best games for me, though. Like I'm never wanted when it's my team. Like I just hope it's a good game. Screw that. No, I want to feel good in the halftime and third quarter. I don't need all that. So
100%, 100%.
So
actually, funny story on that. I'm also a Texas University football fan.
Okay.
And I flew out to Dallas 2 years ago for the Red River game against Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Texas blew the biggest lead in the history of their program, and all my buddies who doesn't really care about Texas are like, "Well, you saw a good game." I'm like, I don't care about that.
No.
I'm like, I wanted this to stay a blowout.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. But anyways, what do you got? You got a question? Comment?
Yeah, question. So obviously we know the floor for Martavis Bryant. What do you think the ceiling could be for someone like him? Hasn't played in 5 years. Obviously was a special talent. He's got the 6'4" frame. Do you think he's more of just maybe a red zone target, or do you think he could actually step in and get a bulk of the touches?
No, I don't think he's going to get a bulk of the touches.
Well,
but I mean,
as a second, third receiver, not as.
Yeah, but even at that, no, I don't think so. I mean, the guy hasn't been in the league this decade. He hasn't played a snap in 6 years. I mean, now. He stands out literally. Like you look at him, with all the receivers. I mean, he's standing next to Cooks and Turpin the other day. So I was like, oh, this guy's about to get, a double. He's gonna, rebounds. I mean, he's a really big guy, and he's got some speed. And he says he can still play and do. I mean, like he says, he still has all those same tools. And I think obviously in his workout he showed that he does. Or the Cowboys wouldn't have signed him. But I think it's one of those things. You just take advantage of the situation you have now, and the rules allow a very large practice squad. It also allows veterans to be on it, and it also allows you to have elevations on game day if you need it. If you have a receiver that's kind of banged up, maybe he's going to play, but we'll see how far it goes. Let's elevate a player and just see if he can help, and he doesn't have to take anyone's spot on special teams and all that. So I think you just kind of go with the flow in this, see what happens. There's no plan that I would think. I'm sure they have some kind of plan, but it might get to a game where you want to have a red zone package or two for him. But I think you're just taking advantage of the rules that allow players like him to be back in the league. 5 or 10 years ago, you couldn't have done this. You don't bring these guys in. They don't even allow. You're not practice squad eligible if you've played more than like 8 games. But now they're allowing that, and I think it's good for the league. It really is.
Yeah, I love the signing just because it's kind of like a why not. If he helps you, he helps
exactly.
you. If not, it is what it is.
Exactly. Guys, especially. And I appreciate the call, Justin. Unless you have something else, I think we're good there. But
yeah, no, that's it.
Well, have a great day. Thank you for calling. As first time caller, Justin, and he didn't get the ding, but I'll give it to him. There you go, Justin. But the league, I think, should be a little bit lenient when you think about players like Martavis Bryant suspended for failing drug tests and now that don't exist. Like players that are probably doing the exact same thing he was doing, but now it's a different rules. And so it's good to see somebody give him a chance to see if he still got something left. All right, we got a text question here from Chris. It's in Florida. It says, appreciate the caller from yesterday's show handing out flowers to you, the coaching staff, and the front office fans. Don't give them any love most of the time. Mike McCarthy, I guess that's MM, is a legend and is working hard to win a championship. He is working hard to win a championship. I don't know if he's hit legendary status. That's people have different opinions of that. He's won a Super Bowl. A lot of people have asked to get coaches in here that have won one Super Bowl, and you think that things are going to change a whole lot. And McCarthy's done that too. So he knows what it takes to win, and they've done a good job. There's been some games where the team has lost, and Arizona, go back to that game. They weren't as ready to play as they needed to be. There's been a lot of games this year that they are ready to play and come right out. And I like what I like about McCarthy is that it feels like he doesn't just have one style. He whatever he kind of has to play. That's how you kind of have to play it differently at times. And it's like being a poker player. Sometimes you play this certain hand that you would throw away 5 minutes later. It's just all about the feel. It's all about, and that's how you have to play the game. So, not that I play a ton of poker. I play some, but I'm not like professional or anything. Travis in San Antonio is our next caller. Travis, what's up?
Happy Friday to you, Nick. How you doing?
Same to you. I'm doing well. Thanks for calling.
Yeah.
What do you got?
So I was just going to say, I heard the show yesterday, and one of the callers was talking about the whole national media, and I think one of the second or third calls I told you, I don't listen to it. I don't get riled up about it. It's just, just funny. But I just happened to have, I was taking a phone call yesterday, and I had First Things First on for a little bit, and there was a segment on there about the Cowboys' this upcoming game, and the question was, can they do anything impressive this week to impress you? And Chris Broussard said, yeah, they can put a 60-piece on them. And I didn't even get mad. I just, that's the standard. They want them to score 60 points. And the other guy on there was like, Mahomes never even scored 60 points. So, that's where you kind of just go, you got to understand, from their perspective, like you said, they do narratives and they fit statistics to make their stories and whatnot. But I don't get riled up about it. It just is what it is.
Yeah, but here's another thing to that. Just so they can have a good conversation, there'll be two people that think how classless it was for the Cowboys to go out there and score that many points and keep playing and keep throwing the ball to Jalen Brooks there in the fourth quarter and get Sean McEwen some snaps, to pour it on like that. So yeah, I mean it. Yeah, the one person might think that was impressive. Two more will say, McCarthy's classless for doing that. So,
yeah, it happened. It happened to Miami with the Broncos. Remember, they were like, "Wow," they ran it up on the Broncos. So it's just okay. Other than that, I just wanted to say I wanted to call and tell you. I mentioned I guess one of the first segment calls that to be patient with Mozzie, and because I'm a Michigan fan, which we have a whole other situation going on, but.
Right.
I think Mozzie is starting to come around. I think people are starting to see that he's playing better, and I also think I know it's hard for sometimes people to see it on the TV copy, but when my marker for that, for knowing that the inside guys, the interior guys are doing good, is when you see Marquise Bell flashing and everyone's been like, man, Marquise Bell's playing his what off. Mm-hmm. That usually is an indicator that the guys up front are doing their job.
Exactly. That's a good point.
So that, and then my score prediction for this weekend. Not a 60-piece. I'm going to say 38-13.
38-13.
And you guys have a great weekend, and
all right.
Safe travels.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I think that's close to what I had as well. Good stuff. And that is a good point about the linebackers and safeties that are coming up. I mean, that game against Arizona, I keep mentioning this game, but it was one where you saw on a couple of times you saw Marquise Bell and some of these other linebackers, Jaron Curse as well, with these guards that would get to that next level and create these running lanes. But it starts. They can't get past. If you got guys that warrant double teams, then you really can't get past that first level. So that's where it starts. It starts in the trenches, and it kind of goes backwards. And so you're exactly right, Travis, about that, about when the safeties and the linebackers, I mean, because Marquise Bell is playing linebacker, but when the linebackers are able to go and make plays, it usually starts from guys in the middle. And I mean, Ray Lewis has said it over and over. I mean, guys like Tony Siragusa, I think Sam Adams, they really set the tone for what he was able to do. I mean, guys in the middle for the Bears, same thing with Mike Singletary. Great linebackers usually have really great fronts, in front of them as well. All right, Danny is in Denison, Texas. Danny, what's up?
Hey, Nick. How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Hey, second-time caller.
Second time.
Yeah, called last Friday. It was my wife's birthday.
Oh, okay. She the one that was Tony Dorsett?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Well, you'll call every Friday until she's Herschel Walker.
There you go. Awesome. So, our current team, obviously our offensive line hasn't maybe lived up to our expectations. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking I really miss Mark Colombo when he came in. Was it 2019, like mid-season, and he came in and was the O-line coach?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was like, I thought you were talking about as a player. I was like, oh,
No.
Okay. I was gonna say you're off a decade or so, but yeah. As a coach, yes. Sorry.
Yeah. So I just thought how he had them attacking the defense. I think earlier that year he came in like mid-season. We kind of played back and let them come to us. I just miss, I don't know, it seemed like they had more grit with him as the O-line coach. And I know some injuries and things like that, and players are getting up there. But, that's
it's tough to say that. I mean, because Mark Colombo had more grit. I mean, as a player. So Mark played that way, and then I'm sure, when you play a certain style, that's the way you're going to coach it as well. But let's not forget, I mean, Hudson Houck was a pretty gentle person, it seemed like, off the field, and he was coaching that 90s offensive line, and he coached Eric Williams, and Eric Williams certainly played with a different level. So I hear what you're saying, but I think there's more to it. You got to have you got to understand exactly the concepts of what they're trying to do, the blocking schemes and all that, more than just playing with grit. And I'm not saying that that's all Mark Colombo brought to the table. I'm just saying I think there's more to it than that. And also he's coaching different players at different parts in their career. Think about what Zach Martin, Tyron Smith could do 4 or 5 years ago as opposed to maybe right now. So different style, but love Mark as a player and a coach. He didn't take crap from anyone. I liked it.
No, he was awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I got.
All right.
Have a great day.
Thanks,
great
Danny.
show as always.
Appreciate that.
Don't worry about the trolls online. They'll go away.
Yeah. I don't even. Yeah. I mean, even if they don't, you don't worry about them. All right, let's go to Ronnie in New Jersey. Ronnie.
Yes.
What's up?
Hey, good morning, Nick.
16th time caller. Something like that.
How you doing, Nick?
Good, man. How are you?
Not too bad. Pretty good. Nick, I agree with you, man. I want this game to be just like last weekend. I was bored, man. I was bored by halftime. When third quarter came in, I was like, I can't wait for these guys to get off the field already, let the backups start handling the rest of the game. So I hope this becomes the same situation. Hopefully mid-third quarter, early third quarter, let all the backups start taking reps for the future. Nick, I have one question I wanted to ask you. I've been curious.
Okay.
You've been there for a long time.
Yes.
So you went through all those 8-8 and 5-11 seasons. Who's been your favorite head coach since you got there? Obviously, Jimmy Johnson. You weren't there for that era, but since you got there, who's been your favorite? Because I want to tell you my favorite.
Well, I mean, my favorite coach is a person that we still quote today. I mean, Bill Parcells was my favorite coach.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, because you didn't miss press conference. His press conference. You didn't miss that. And think about him. All the other coaches, Gailey, Garrett, Campo, Wade, they were a different. But they were a defensive coach or an offensive coach or whatever. Parcells was both. Parcells, you could learn more about football. I remember him talking about how Antonio Bryant needed to catch the ball with the way he put the placement of his hands. He would talk to the punt returners on how to return punts. Obviously, he's got a defensive background as well. So and he was coaching, the different ways to. But I mean, he is a football coach through and through. And, I mean, it was entertaining, and you also learned a lot from him. So, really, it's hands down. I mean, we've all had the privilege. Whoever was here had the privilege of learning from Bill.
Even for fans, it was fun to listen to how he would put it simple in a way for you to understand what he was talking about when he was giving the coaching tips and stuff like that. And he was a coach that coached coaches.
Exactly.
So that was a great...
Very good point.
The best coach we've ever had, I believe.
Very good point.
That's what I wanted to ask you, and I wanted to say I hope this weekend becomes just like last weekend and get out of that game with a clean bill of health. That's all I want for the rest of the season. Just be healthy, man. I want us to be healthy for the playoffs and see what we got from that point on.
Yep. Okay.
But thanks for taking my call, Nick.
Good call.
Have a good weekend, man.
Good call. You too. Thank you, Ronnie. And I like that part about coaching the coaches, because if you think about that 2005 staff, he had 7 or 8 coaches on that staff that ended up being head coach in the NFL or in college. Of course, I can't name them all, but I mean, I know that like Todd Haley, Todd Bowles, Sperano, Sean Payton. He had a coach that McIntyre, I believe was his name, that went and coached at like Colorado or something. I mean, he's had Freddie Kitchens was a coach for the Browns. He was a tight ends coach, so they had a few coaches in there, and so guys that learned a lot, and that also goes to show, when you're a guy like Bill Parcells, your coaching tree guy, it opens doors for others, which is also, I mean, that's pretty awesome to have. All right. Get my computer unlocked here. Let's go back to the phone line. We got Terry in Mexico. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Puerto Vallarta.
Puerto Vallarta. Nice.
Yeah, just retired here.
Sweet. I bet that's awesome. First time caller?
Yes, sir.
Boom.
I'm actually headed over to play golf right now at El Tigre, one of their premier golf courses down here.
Just living the life, huh, Terry? I mean, we're over here just, we're grinding away. The sun's not even shining. Going to Carolina. I mean, it's fine. We're doing our thing, but I mean, no one's about to, play 18 there in Mexico.
I gave up going to Cowboy games because I've seen 4 at the Texas Stadium and haven't seen a win yet. I went to the 2 Bears games. Bryant had a big punt return that game.
Yep.
And then went to the Giants, seen a loss there, and then the wife got mad because I'd never take her to games. So I took her. She's a big Peyton Manning fan. One of the best games I ever seen in my life. Him and Romo with their shootout.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a, I always, I should throw this on the list too. You got any other question? You got a question, Terry? Sorry, I'm just
just a quick comment. I just want to say thank you to all the segments you guys have, man. Down here, that's the only way I get any Cowboy info. With my boys and that. So I sure appreciate everything you guys do, and everybody have a happy holiday.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Hit them straight today, Terry, when you go and play golf there. Thank you for the call. And I always say that there's 2 moments that I wish I could take back. Or I just would like to see. I like to see what would happen. One of them was the Deion Sanders play. Deion Sanders and Michael Irvin in the '94 championship game. I thought it was pass interference. I'd like to have seen that. That called, and then we'll see what happens in the last 5 minutes of that game. Cowboys still had some work to do, but would have been an epic comeback and would have probably changed the course of the history for the Cowboys if they win that game. I'd also like to see the correct call on Dez catch and see what happens then. But I would have liked to have seen Romo, not throw that interception against the Broncos, because he was dealing right then. And if he drives down the field, game's tied 48-all. If he drives down the field, and it's going to be passing because they're not going to run it, they don't have enough time. He's sitting at like 5:06, and they're down at their own 20-yard line. To get into field goal range, he needs 50 yards. It would have set an NFL record for most passing yards in a game. Can you imagine beating Peyton Manning in a game like that, setting an NFL record? But it didn't happen, and that was Romo's career. That game to me was Romo's career. He was really, really good. But then there's times just at the end it just wasn't good enough sometimes, and I think that But anyways, that was an awesome game. All right. Let's go to break. No, actually, one call. We'll get one call. We'll open up a line. Al in Merkel, Texas. Al, what's up?
Hey, Nick, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Hey, I have a question for you.
Okay.
I just got Chris Beams answering that. That is pretty awesome. My question is, what is the most unique Cowboys item that you have?
Unique item?
Yeah, like memorabilia or.
Well, I got this. I got this pullover here, and it has a shark on it or something like that. I don't even know what that is.
I'll tell you mine.
Go ahead. Yep.
Do you know that it's called a kippah, the thing that Jewish men wear on the back of their heads?
Mm-hmm.
I have one from Israel. That's Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
A friend of mine brought it from there.
Yeah, that's neat. I should have that. I one day I'm always gonna I'm gonna have my own, man cave type cool stuff, but I don't really have anything. I'll tell you one thing that was unique, and I gave it away. I gave it to a friend of mine, but I had an autographed football from Magic Johnson.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Magic Johnson was doing some stuff when we had an Arena League team several years ago, the Desperados, and he was involved with one of the sponsors there, and he came by and he signed for everyone. They made an announcement that Magic Johnson's going to sign for 2 hours and for every employee. I mean, for any employee that wants to get an autograph. So, I mean, we had grown men driving to the drugstore to buy basketballs and footballs. I mean, it was unbelievable. And I know that I've seen different people, and I've even covered a couple Mavericks games in their locker rooms, NBA. But Magic Johnson's the biggest human being I've ever seen in my life. I mean, He is massive. I mean, he is 6'9" both ways, it seems like. He's huge and the nicest guy, too. But I had a football, because I didn't have anything else, I had a football signed by Magic Johnson. It was pretty cool. But
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else like that, though. But that's a good call. Yeah, good topic. You have anything else? Question or comment?
Just go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys.
I do have one more question.
Okay.
And I'll let you go. I know time's being wasted. You have a feel for the building. You're around the players, you're around the coaches. It's like, What is the feel for this week? Do you feel like they're prepared? Do you feel like they're overlooking them? I mean, do you have any feeling either way?
I don't feel like they're overlooking them. I really don't. I think that this team understands. You've been. I mean, if you put your hand on the stove, you don't do it again. I mean, that's the thing. Hopefully. I mean, but you learn. And I think you look at this team. Oh, this team's 1-8. They're terrible. Hey, week 2, they whipped a team from New York at home, and they went on the road against a team that's struggling. They lost. Here they are just last week. Whipped the team at home from New York, going on the road against a team that's struggling. And if you don't learn from your mistakes, then you're going to be in the same boat. And I think this team has higher aspirations than that. So I think they'll be focused and ready to go.
All right. I hope you're right.
All right.
Enjoy your weekend.
You too. Thank you. Let's go to break real quick here on Cowboys Storyline. Be right back with some more text line questions and more phone calls. Be right back.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure. It's not complicated.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
Cowboys fans, after that move, we've just coined the term Rowdy Replay. Let's roll back the tape.
Okay, there's our mascot Rowdy cheering on the boys. And now he's on his phone, on his Bank of America mobile banking app?
Staying on top of his finances with his virtual financial assistant, Erica.
Bank of America's digital tools are so impressive. Cowboys fans just can't stop banking. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/can't-stop-banking.
Erica is only available in the English language. You must download the latest version of the mobile banking app, only available on select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. Member FDIC.
Welcome back into Dear Doctor, the show where I answer life's questions with an ice-cold can of Dr. Pepper. Sheila, let's hear from our next caller, would you?
Dear Doctor, my friend supported me during a tough time. But what's the right gift that says, thanks for being a shoulder to cry on?
Okay, this one's easy. I say give her a delicious Dr. Pepper. Nothing says, thanks, girl, better than a one-of-a-kind soda. Yes, any Dr. Pepper flavor will do. Now, just a reminder that I don't need to be a real doctor to know that Dr. Pepper is the one you deserve.
They say champions are remembered, but legends are never forgotten. United Ag and Turf offers a winning lineup of John Deere equipment built to tackle any challenge on and off the field. Legendary John Deere tractors, combines, residential mowers, commercial mowers, compact construction equipment, Gator utility vehicles, and a full line of golf and sports turf equipment. United Ag and Turf, the official Ag and Turf equipment supplier of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com to find a location near you. Back to Cowboys Storyline.
All right, we got a few more minutes to roll here on Cowboys Storyline. Ryan from Michigan has been waiting on the line. We appreciate that. Ryan, what do you got?
This isn't Ryan.
This is not Ryan?
No,
this is Desmond. I'm sorry. This is Desmond.
Desmond.
From Virginia.
From Virginia. Not on my list.
Hey.
Apologize. What's up, man?
Hey. First time caller.
First time caller, and we messed it up. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Desmond from Virginia.
I just got a chance to buzz in today. Been working today for a chance.
Cool, man. First time caller. All right.
Yeah, man. I don't know what the subject was for today. I didn't get a chance to listen yet. I'll listen back later on in the pod.
We didn't really have a subject. We just said let's just have some fun, talk about whatever you want. So you can talk about your favorite movie, TV show, whatever, and we'll tie it into the Cowboys somehow. So
Gotcha. Well, I got my list already out. My favorite wrestler, the Ultimate Warrior.
Okay.
The Ultimate Warrior.
Got a question for you though. What was his name before that?
Steve. I'm not sure.
Well, he probably, yeah, that was his name. But he also went by when I actually was in this like gymnasium in Miami, Oklahoma. Like seats like 800, and it was these two tag team wrestlers. One of them was a guy named Sting, and another was a guy named the Dingo Warrior. And
the Dingo Warrior.
The Dingo Warrior and Sting.
Wow.
And
but not Sting. Was Sting or not Sting?
Oh, it was Sting.
Okay.
Yeah, it was, and his name was Steve Borden, by the way.
Yeah, he was Steve.
Yeah,
right? That's
so Sting and they all start somewhere, but it's kind of cool. Like, who are these guys? Yeah. Well, they'll. Yeah. All right. What do you got, man?
All right.
What else? What else is on your list?
I've been a Cowboys fan since the '90s. When they were on their Super Bowl run around that time. I think I was a Raiders fan as a child, but just because everybody was rocking Raiders starters jackets, and that's what you do. I had a question for you and Derek. I think I tried to tweet it to you guys at one point. So, what's the likelihood of the Cowboys themselves doing a Hard Knock style show, either preseason or midseason that's produced in house? Is that a possibility or no?
Well, we sort of did. And I'm embarrassed that I forgot what it was called, because they actually have the last couple years. We've done something like that, but it's not exactly Hard Knocks. But we continue to explore things like that. You're kind of at the mercy of what your coaching staff. I mean, everybody thinks it's a good idea. This is one of those April and May things where, like, yeah, let's do that. That'd be great. We could put a camera here.
Right, we just want the football content, yeah.
Right, but then once you get there and you get to August, and then your defensive line coach, whoever, is like, why is there a camera in the meeting room here? We talked about this,
so
coach.
Hard Knocks, they kind of like the owner said, this is what you're doing, and deal with it.
There you go. You've got it figured out, Desmond. Yeah, and it happens, and then no one's happy about it, but it's part of it. It's part of the game. So yeah.
I just figured Jerry's all about more eyes on the team, and if he can have something that he's completely in control of, whereas Hard Knocks, they kind of have their own narratives that they like to push.
Yeah.
Whereas he would trust you guys to do what you guys do.
Right.
To, make the content you guys want. But this is a thought. Okay, no worries. That's all I have for today.
All right. Sounds good. Well, thank you for calling. First time. Appreciate that. And call us back for sure. All right. Let's go to Let's go to Ryan in Michigan now. Sorry about that. I jumped the gun there. Ryan in Michigan. What's up?
Nick, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Real good. So I just called today to tell you my story of how I became a Cowboys fan.
Okay.
So I guess growing up here in Michigan, I left early when I was 5 to Indiana. They didn't have a football team at that time. I'm your age, so
Right.
the same
Right.
time frame there. And Cowboys were just always on the TV back then. Before there was cable, it seemed like that was the one game that you could watch. And I think that's just more or less how it became. Me seeing them on TV and then moving to a state without a professional team, and then from there it's just always been Cowboys. So
Yeah.
But anyway, my favorite player, Emmitt Smith, definitely. Okay. And I think some guy called in the other day and said that he might have been able to compare with Emmitt Smith if he hadn't got injured or something. And
I don't know. No,
I know I could if he was a procrastinator. If Emmitt Smith was a procrastinator, I could definitely compare with him. So,
right.
Sitting here at work talking to you for sure. That should.
You're at work right now?
That, so, I got Cowboys all over. 2-3 big screens. I got you on the big middle one. Boss has gone hunting. It's deer season around here. So.
Do you have a parrot in the background?
I not in the background, but I did have one. A week or so ago, but it's funny you asked that. But
well, it sounds like there's a bird back there, or something. I don't know, or a squeaky chair. I don't know. One of the two.
Squeaky chair.
Hey,
there you go. Good ear there. So
yeah.
And then I wanted to throw a wrestler at you to see if you remember this guy. His name was Tommy Wildfire Rich.
Tommy
Back
Rich.
in the early.
Blonde hair, right?
Days.
Blonde hair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, vaguely. Yeah, remember him. Yeah.
So him and Ted DiBiase became the $1 million Man.
Right. Yeah.
So they had a match early on in his career where it was winner leaves wrestling forever.
Okay.
And so that's what happened. Tommy Wildfire Rich lost the match to Ted DiBiase and had to leave wrestling forever. I guess in that sense, it was a little before WWE. I think it was a lot of Turner broadcast.
He just probably
TBS.
He probably just left the territory and then went somewhere else with a different name, or something like that. Yeah, that's usually how that works.
I believe the story was he came back as Mr. R, a masked Mr. R for a while, and then Ted finally ripped his mask off one time a few matches later, and it was a new young kid that jumped into the scene or something. So, yeah, that was the last I seen of him. But
cool.
Remember him on TV as a young kid.
Yep.
So,
I went to some matches with Ted DiBiase when his name was Ted. He wasn't the $1 million Man, didn't have Virgil next to him and all that cool stuff. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, good.
So, anyway, I'm repping Michigan here. I don't hear a lot of callers from Michigan, so hopefully
there you go.
Step it up and get in there. It's not my first time calling, but second or third. So
cool. All right.
Hopefully we can keep it going.
Thank you, Ryan.
Great one.
Have a great day. Get some WD-40 on those chairs. Either that or I thought it was going to be a parrot. I thought that was going to be cool. They may start talking on the show. All right. Nick in Austin. What's up?
Hey, buddy. How you doing? It's been a while.
I know. Good.
Hard to get in now.
Well, that's good. That's a good thing.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so I tried to call it since that Eagles game. Real quick, I thought we played well enough to beat them. Officiating was horrible, as a lot of people have said. Number 2, favorite player, DeMarcus Ware. First thing I want to ask you is when we draft this next year, what position do you think will go in the first round, and do you think we'll lean more toward defense or offense? Second question, how well do you think, because do you think the defense will, obviously they're really good this year, but we've been talking about linebacker, and I really missing Demarion Overshown because he just seems to really have a knack for the ball.
Yeah.
And then number 3. Go ahead.
Well, it's so hard to tell about the draft. You don't know where you're picking. It's a different player when you're picking in the middle from like 18, 19 to 28, 29. You're 32. You just don't know where you're going to be picking. But I would imagine just look at positions that don't seem to be short up, like left tackle. I'm talking about for the future, and maybe Tyler Smith is the left tackle. But if that's the case, then a guard, and you could take a guard in the 20s. You could take a linebacker there. You could take a running back if you wanted to. Especially the way things are going now. You got 5 years with a running back. If there's one quality back there, I could see that happening. I could see, a corner, position. So. Yeah, I think you got options there. I would imagine corner, offensive line, and of course, if a pass rusher is there that you like, why not? Why not go that route as well? I guess you're not there anymore. Are you still there, Nick?
Hello.
Did you have another point?
Yeah, I had one more quick question. Crap, I've been waiting so long. I'm brain farting again. Oh, okay. So whenever, let's say in the third quarter, that goes out, Cooper comes in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then for some reason, Cooper happens to get hurt. Can Trey Lance come in then? Or
No.
does Dak have to go back in?
Dak goes back in. Well, wait. Hold on. Why did Dak go out in the first place? Because he was hurt?
Well, no. It's like the last game. We were beating them real bad, and then, Cooper goes in. And
I asked that question because I did not know the answer to that, and we figured that out. I asked a few people. The first two quarterbacks have to be medically ruled out.
Oh, good Lord, okay.
Ruled out. So
let's hope that never happens.
Right, but if he's banged up, his hand is kind of hurting, and they're up by 24 points, and you're like, all right, he's out. He's hand injury, out for the game. Cool. Okay, now Cooper comes in, and if something were to happen to him, knock on wood, whatever, then Trey Lance could come in the game. But if it's a blowout and they're just putting Cooper Rush in, and then he gets hurt, no, they haven't ruled Dak out of the game, so I think Dak would have to go back in. That's if Trey Lance was designated as your third quarterback. See, one of the things that they could do here later in the season, if they wanted to, is figure out with the roster and not have a third quarterback. Just have them all three active. You could.
Oh, that's true.
You could, but that means somebody else has to be inactive. So, all right. Good stuff, Nick. Appreciate that. First thing you mentioned was D Ware, and I was thinking, because we have NFL Network also on, and their premiere, I guess tonight is when Football Life on DeMarcus Ware comes out. And when you think about things that happen to you post, retirement, as an NFL player, and you go to the Ring of Honor, for your team. You can obviously go to the Hall of Fame. You can have documentaries done on you. Has there ever been a player that's had more things happen in 1 year than DeMarcus Ware? Think about it. Went in the Hall of Fame this year, went in the Ring of Honor. I'm sure Denver is about to do it if they haven't already. They're stealing him like he's, they're like Michigan with signs when it comes to D Ware. That's it. They take that player. But he got Football Life. We did a documentary on him as well. We did on the whole draft class, but it 2005 Deep Blue class. But still, he's had a lot of things happen this year. So. And rightfully so. He's done great. All right, let's go with Jake in North Carolina. Jake, I think you're going to be our last caller. Are you going to the game?
I am going to the game, man. I'm stoked.
Nice. All right.
Yeah. Long-time listener, big fan of you guys, big fan of Nick.
Appreciate it.
Excited, man.
Yeah. Should be a lot of fun. You got good seats? Not that it matters, but...
I do, man. I do. It's like 50-yard line on the Cowboys side, like second row. I'm going to be there, man.
All right.
Great.
Well, yell at us. We'll be down there. We'll be down.
Hey, shout out to you and bring back, Dave and Broadus and Derek for a show. That'd be great.
Oh, all right. Yep, that was a fun time for sure.
Hey, one thing to make Parsons happy if he gets upset again: put him on the goal line, let him run in a touchdown.
That would definitely do the trick. Okay, you're right about that. If you're like, hey, sorry, I know we just haven't got any sacks today, but would you like to get the football? We need some.
I bet he'd have a sack on his next defensive play.
Yeah. Oh no. He'd be like, oh, hold on. If that means I get the ball, yeah, I'll do what I need to do. That would definitely he would feel good about that. And I bet he would have some success. Could you imagine if they said, Micah, we're putting you on offense. And he's like, yes. He's like, yes. And then they said, no.
On the 1 yard line, just give him the ball.
Yeah. No. So, see, they would put him in, and then he would be the guy. We want you to push Dak in the back. He'd be like, no. Give me the rock. No. So, anyways.
That's right.
All right.
Awesome, man. I'm first time calling. Love you guys, man. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. You stole that in there. Just first time caller, Jake. Boom. And maybe we'll see you at the game Sunday. There'll be a lot of Cowboy fans there, but sounds like got great seats, man. Second row behind the bench. Pretty awesome. All right. Thank you for the call.
Thanks, sir.
All right. It's been a good show. We got 12 callers. Texas was the winner of the states, but good stuff. Actually, 2 if they're from North Carolina, so they creeping in at the end. But good stuff always. You guys were great all week long. Stay with us now. Now, Chris Beam, I think, Chris, you get to hear him sometimes, but I think you're going to get to see him here. Stay with us here on Dallas Cowboys Radio, because coming up at 11 o'clock here, we've got the break. And I believe in the second or third segment, Chris Beam's going to be joining here in studio. They're going to be playing a little game. They like to play games on Friday. Patrick Walker's not, and he's in North Carolina right now. So Chris Beam's going to come play a game with Broadus and Derek and Amber, and should be a lot of fun. So make sure and listen to that. All right, everyone. It's been great. So for Chris Beam, I'm Nick Eatman. We will see you on Monday on Cowboy Storyline.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?